Noah was in a spot where we daily feared for his safety.
He couldn't look me in the eyes. His behavior was very, very erratic, very uncontrolled. He would go for, there was no correlation for him between his action and the consequence.
And he would dig at, I noticed when I'd give him a bath at night that all of the pads on his fingers and palms and all the pads on his toes were, looked like a rat had eaten them. They were all chewed and raw because he would cut and dig at his skin constantly. He was very extremely impulsive, and so if he thought something, he would immediately do it. He didn't think about how it would hurt him.
He um, didn't sleep very well at all. It was major trauma to get him to go to sleep, and he was very clumsy. He had issues communicating with us and telling us sequence of events or telling us things that happened to him. And if something bad had happened or something that he was upset about, he would hold it all in, be really quiet, and then all of a sudden a big huge explosion would happen, and it would be really hard to, he'd get it all out, but it would be hard to get him back down to normal and help him work through the problem because it had been building up for so long.
Sleeping was probably the worst time of the day. He would have meltdowns when he'd have to go to bed at night. It was never a restful sleep, and there would be many times in the middle of the night he would still get up and come into our bedroom at least 2 or 3 times.
He would just lash out, just unpredictably and unprovoked, and that was very frightening because you never knew when in a situation he would go from 0 to 60.
And he just didn't like reading. He wouldn't read for pleasure or for school. He had a hard time writing, communicating clearly, putting things in an organized manner. And he had told me later that kids made fun of him, but because he didn't communicate very well, and he said he would just ignore him and walk away.
His skin was very particular an issue with him, and he'd only have one pair of socks that he would wear, one certain type of shoes. He could not have tie shoes because if he tied them, they didn't feel the same on each foot, or the shoelaces didn't hang the same. So he was very tags, anything on his skin. He basically had one outfit that was his favorite outfit that he would wear that felt okay for him. We visited a neurologist that he saw regularly. He was on the medications. He was on 2 different types of medications. One for the anxiety because he just couldn't handle life, and one for his attention.
He just broke down and cried and just said, "I'm just tired of being dumb."
We would spend a lot of time going over the same things over and over and over, and he just wasn't retaining it. Not even letters and numbers, but even things as simple as when rules of the house. Just any information was just he couldn't keep a hold of it, and he would mix up letters and mix up numbers really easily.
In 4th grade in particular, he wasn't performing on grade level. One meeting in particular that my husband and I went to, they said in 4th grade he was working on a 1st grade level, which was a complete shocker to us because the school had been kind of just passing him along until we started asking some hard questions.
And he's completely weaned off all of his meds. He'll go to bed. He'll stay in bed all night. He doesn't get up in the middle of the night to come to us anymore. I don't fear anymore as far as he's going to hurt himself or do something dangerous. His fingernails have grown out. The skin on his feet and his palms have all healed.
He is doing great. We we started him in public kindergarten this year after a lot of prayer and making sure that we felt that he was comfortable. He's excelling. He makes eye contact. He is affectionate. He tells me he loves me. And that's something that means a lot.
He's doing amazingly well. His grades are 95s and above.
He just came back from a trip with the whole family, and he did beautifully. He was able to transition. He was able to enjoy himself. He went with a friend. He was able to be a regular member of the family, where we didn't have to alter our daily routine and things that we did because of Noah's needs.
I feel like I got my son back. Like, I feel like this is my son, and here he is, and I'm so much closer to him now, and he is doing so well in school. He's been chosen as a peer role model. Asking about having him tested for the gifted program this year. He comes home every day happy and with good behavior stamps and rewards, and honestly, I never thought that would be my child.
He on his middle school team is the B team quarterback this year and is loving it and doing an amazing job at reading plays, reading what's going on the field, and throwing passes. And 4 years ago, I would have never believed that he could have done that.
I have a little boy who's thriving.
If I were to ask him today, I think he would say that he's just like any of the other kids, and just like his older brother, and as smart as the other kids, and doesn't struggle.